The story of a people is told best by those who live it out daily. And when the history of that community is informative, inspirational, and insightful, it should then be shared with the world. The Clio Exchange does that.
Currie Ballard, it's good to have you back on the Clio Exchange.
Always a pleasure, Lou. Always a pleasure to be in this beautiful city.
Yeah, well, it's a real high point for us because you're the first guest to come back for a repeat.
Wow.
So that's a testimony that we're doing something right.
Well, you know, when you have something that's unique, when you have something that touches people's lives and their hearts and their spiritual aspect, you can't help but do something right.
Yeah, and I think what goes along with just what you said is what has happened in your life since the last time we saw each other. The last time you were here, we talked a lot about Langston University and the history around that.
Yes.
But two things that has occurred to you over the past year that really stimulated a need for us to sit down and talk. One is the fact that you discovered that you had a relative that made a contribution in the gospel music area, didn't you?
Well, as a kid growing up in South Central Los Angeles, the Watts section of LA, my grandmother and my mother would tell us stories. Oh, we got a relative that wrote the song Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. And, you know, little kids, yeah. Now, you don't know.
Everybody know that song.
Old school, you'd never tell grandmama, I don't think this is true.
Right.
You'd never tell mama that.
Yeah, right.
But, you know, we say, well, you know, maybe when it was passed down, maybe the story kind of got twisted a little bit.
Okay.
Well, not only my grandmother, who was instrumental in raising me, told us that story. We were directly related as Choctaw freedmen. Those were the slaves that were owned by the Choctaw Indians.
Okay.
And the Dawes Roll record, which emanated right here in Washington, D.C., Commissioner Dawes was the United States Commissioner on Indian Affairs, dispatched after the Civil War to Oklahoma to create a roll. You know, and you've heard the old folks, you on the roll, you're not on the roll, you got a roll number.
Right.
Okay.
That's okay.
Well, the roll, his job was any of the African Americans that, one, were once owned by the Native American people, two, that actually had blood, intermarriage, interbirth, etc. So as a result of those two factors, African Americans were tied to the Native American population of Oklahoma, the 5 civilized tribes more specifically.
Right.
So as time went on, and I wound up moving to Oklahoma from Los Angeles to Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Historical Society has the original rolls. So I was able to research my grandmother's birth, her parents, their parents, all the way back to 1839.
My goodness.
1839. And as a result of that, all of their names. Well, lo and behold, as this history bug grew with me as time went on, this name that was written down, I could verify. That name was written down, I could verify. So about 4 years ago, a lady wrote a book about how these blacks that were enslaved in Oklahoma came up with the song Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. And Dick Williams and his wife are direct descendants of my people.
How about that?
So that was...
now you discovered that in this book?
Oh yeah,
Did someone point it out to you, or did you stumble upon it?
I'm a bookaholic.
Okay.
So Christmas time, instead of buying other things, I buy books for people. So I'm going shopping, and I'm new books, big coffee table size book. And boy, was I impressed with it. It was on music of Oklahoma. So quite naturally, I go through the first couple of pages and the Woody Guthries and what have you, and you're overwhelmed. Even make reference to Jimmy Rushing from Oklahoma City.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Jimmy Rushing. So anyway, I'm saying, well, what's the African American slant on this thing?